So this is the second follow-up review for the all-new 2023 Nissan X Trail, also known as the Nissan Rogue if you live in the United States. So in this video, we're going to see new features such as this front-facing camera, which is not found in the regular SV trim, and many more from this new trim level. And as I reviewed the SV trim level of the X Trail in my previous video, this time we'll dissect another X Trail, which is the SV Plus, and spot the differences between the two trim levels. So, as I mentioned in my previous video, it's a compact size SUV with 3-row seats, and it's competing with other vehicles in its own segment, such as the 2023 Mitsubishi Outlander and also the Honda CR-V. You can pause the video here if you want to read the information, and be sure to see the price below, which is quite higher than the regular SV trim level. As I said previously, I absolutely love the redesigned front fascia, with those separated daytime running LEDs and rectangular headlights, as well as the V-Motion grille. But the only thing I really don't like is the halogen lights, which are pretty much obsolete. But anyway, the size of the tires are pretty much the same as the SV trim. And so are the alloy wheels, which look the same as the wheels in the regular SV trim level. And if you want to see the SV X Trail, link below in the description, or click on the card now, which is placed at the top right corner of the screen. One thing I'd like to mention is that the SV and the SV Plus trim levels share the exact same engine and the exact same powertrain. So no need to upgrade for any extra horsepower if you're thinking about getting the SV Plus anyway. But you should consider getting this SV Plus X Trail only if you want more bells and whistles. So in this video, we'll see what more features you'll get for the money. In case you haven't heard me saying this, in my last video, this Nissan X Trail was originally debuted, I think somewhere between June and July, back in 2020, then at the beginning of 2021, or I guess, at the end of 2020. It was launched as the all-new 2021 Nissan Rogue in the United States. So, this particular design is almost 2 years old. I mentioned in my last video that I love these taillights, but what I really don't like is this huge cutout under the taillights and the Nissan badge. It's kind of a concave design, but it's not beautiful, at least to me, because it looks like it's been hit by a big baseball bat just like this. Ow! Yeah, well, in other words, it looks kind of ugly, but good thing that there's a back camera just like the front one. And also, I think Nissan could have done better by tucking the window wiper underneath the roof spoiler just to make the back design more modern. But overall, it looks okay. However though, it would have looked a lot nicer if it wasn't for this huge cutout across the board. So, what do you think about the whole exterior design? Sound off your thoughts down in the comments. Like I said before, I really love the side profile of this new X Trail. And I also love this mirror cap. But the big plus here is the 360 degrees cameras for more visibility purposes of your surroundings, which is not found in the regular SV trim. Pretty convenient indeed. Starting with this door panel, which I don't have anything else to add more about it, because it looks basically the same as the SV trim. But you can watch my last video. For now, keep watching this video until I highlight the features, which are available only in this SV Plus and up. And if you want the whole interior to be all leather material instead of cloth, you should consider getting the SL trim level. One thing I almost forgot to mention is that this SV Plus, which I'm recording now, and the normal SV from my last video are both 4-wheel drive. As you can see here, they have included an electric assist lift gate button in this SV Plus, which is not included in the regular SV trim level. And this extra storage under the center console has no USB port whatsoever, as well as the SV X Trail, which is quite a bummer. Same thing with the back door panel, which is quite the same as the SV trim. But keep watching this video for more highlights that this SV Plus has to offer. Just a quick notice, all seats are cloth material, just like the SV trim. But if you want leather seats, you'll have to climb up to the SL, which is the top of the line trim level. And let's not forget about the legroom, which is pretty spacious. In the back seat, we also have the same exact items as the SV trim, such as the dual AC vents and 2 USB ports. Now let's see what more features we have in the front seat. At a glance, the overall dash looks beautiful. However, it looks pretty much the same as the SV trim. But in case you haven't noticed, there's something different about the dash, which I'll talk about in a minute. But as for the steering wheel and the gauge cluster, they look pretty much the same as well. But good thing they included a big LED screen in the center of the gauge cluster, which is very tasteful and convenient. Honestly, I still can't tell you enough how much I love this beautiful dash with all its soft leather material and the upper part, which is made of hard plastic. Along with this beautiful wood-like trim and some stitching across the board, very tasteful indeed. And now for the most important part of this dash, which is the infotainment touchscreen, because it's not only different from the touchscreen in the SV trim, but also it's a lot bigger and more immersive, and no knobs at all. So you're looking at this 12.3-inch infotainment touchscreen, which is absolutely massive and way bigger than the 8-inch touchscreen, which is found in the regular SV trim, which makes this SV Plus trim a major step up from the normal SV. Other than that, we still have the same dual-zone climate controls with these nice-looking air vents. And we also have the same storage setup, but unfortunately, even in this SV Plus, there's no wireless charging pad. But at least, there's Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. And as for the rest of the center console, everything here is the exact same as the regular SV, but it looks beautiful and more modern than the older generation center console. Even this storage under the armrest is pretty deep, but not really wide. In fact, it looks narrow, quite honestly. Good thing they included an auto-dimming feature in both trim levels, and it's absolutely mandatory to have for more eye protection. But the big surprise in this SV Plus, which is not found in the normal SV, is the panoramic sunroof, which is a must-have in any vehicle, at least in my opinion. Very nice. Moving on to the third row seat, which is quite the same as the normal SV trim, but it's very useful if you want to make more room for adults in the second row seat by letting kids sit in the third row. And there are also some items for the third row, such as cup holders, USB ports, and reading lights. And finally, the cargo storage, which is quite small when the third row seat is unfolded. But of course, you'll get a vast amount of storage capacity when you fold the third row. Next, check out the upcoming videos. One of them is about the 2023 Nissan X Trail SV. So be sure to stick around till the last 10 seconds of this video. Peace out.